What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley, and it is time for News in Motion. Today is Monday, people. It is Monday, June the 20th, 2022. And we realize many of you are sleeping in today because you have the day off in observance of Juneteenth, which took place on yesterday. So if you're not with us today, we got it. We understand. Hopefully, you'll check out the replay because we have a lot of information we want to share with you today. So come on in the room, people, if you are awake. Come on in the room, put your name in the chat, and let's have a conversation. I see you, Tracy Newman. Good morning to you. I see you, Dana Mosley. Good morning to you as well. Just come on in the room, put in the chat what you did this weekend, whether it was Father's Day events or Juneteenth events. If you bought something amazing from a Black artist or a vendor, please put that in there so we can glean from who they may be. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. What's up, Marion Jackson? Good morning. What's up, Hester? Good morning to you. What's up, Deborah Johnson? Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So y'all, yeah, just let me know how you were hanging out this weekend. Whether again it was for Father's Day or for Juneteenth. There were also graduations that were taking place. I see you, Kim Edmondson. Good morning. Y'all, Kenny Stanley did his initial sermon on yesterday. I'll talk about that more when we bring him in this morning. But y'all, it was a great weekend. Overall, it was a great weekend. Marion says she participated in Juneteenth activities. Good, good, good. Who else? Who else? What did you do this weekend? What's up, John Gore? He said, good morning, grad party, OJ, outstanding Father's Day. That's what I'm talking about, John. John is always going to be well-rounded in everything that he participates in. He has fun. He has fun. I've been knowing him for years. He has a great time. I should have known nothing less was going to come from John Gore. John, it was too cold to get in that pool. Did y'all get in that pool? Kenny Stanley, good morning. Y'all, Kenny Stanley preached on Sunday. Deborah said, fabulous Father's Day celebrations. Good, good, good. That's great. That's great. That's great. Come on in the room, people. I love seeing y'all this morning. It is a Monday morning, y'all, June the 20th. Again, so many of you are staying in. We can already see the audio numbers are down because they're not driving into work. They don't have to, and we understand that. Hester said, chilled out at the beach. All right, all right. She said she's still there. Go ahead, Hester. Enjoy it. Soak in some sun for me, too. John Gore said, yes, the pool is heated. Why didn't I know that? I think I knew that. Yeah. But when y'all got out, wasn't it cold? That wind, it was a beautiful, crisp breeze in Central Ohio, y'all. That was the day I opened up all my windows on Saturday and just let the cool breeze come in. And my allergies didn't bother me that much either, which was a surprise, but I enjoyed the cool breeze. I see you, Regina Shorts. I see you. All right, everyone. It is Monday, June the 20th, 2022, and it's time for today's headlines right here on News in Motion. I'm happy to say this is anniversary week. The anniversary, y'all, we have been consecutive for 2 years come Wednesday, June the 22nd. So we're just so excited about that. So you'll see a little different news the way we're going to take it over the next few days. Also tomorrow, unless Deborah Johnson tells me she can do it. Tomorrow, y'all, I've been invited to hang out with some first and second graders. That should be a lot of fun, which means I have to be at the destination at 8:30, which means I cannot do News in Motion. Now, Deborah Johnson types in there and says, I can do it for you. Then the show will go on tomorrow. If not, we'll be back on anniversary day, which is June the 22nd. So we'll wait and see what Deborah Johnson has to say. Then she and Isaiah can work out the boards and what they're going to do if she's available. If not, we will not be here tomorrow because I want to hang out with the first and second graders at a kids camp. Yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to turn up. We are at Stewart Elementary. I'm going to turn up with the young people. We're going to have a great time. So that's just wanted to give you just a little bit of what it's going to look like. Let me see what else. Let's see. Kenny Stanley said, June 19th will be a day that will never be forgotten. And Kenny, I want to say this to you. I thought about that. Not only did you have Father's Day, you had Juneteenth, which was just history making, and you came out and did your initial sermon. That day has to be amazing. Speaking to all Black men, all Black fathers, or if you're like a father on here, that day had to be significant for you as well, because these were 2 days in one. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Good morning, Kimberly Graves. Good morning. Kenny Stanley's waiting on you, Deborah Johnson, to answer. All right, y'all, let's get this party started. Let's go. Y'all see how quiet Deborah Johnson is? I'm assuming she's checking her calendar or something. Deborah, don't be pressured. Just say you can't. And then we just won't be here tomorrow. It's no big deal. We'll come back to celebrate on Wednesday, June the 22nd. All right. Thank you to Isaiah. Y'all, he works the blackboards. He's in the virtual room. He's out here pulling up all the banners, the links, the images, and everything. And then, as y'all seen, the past couple times he's been hosting. So he and his brother Isaac did a great job hosting on Thursday. I was tuning in. I was like a proud mama, auntie, whatever you want to call it. I was just so excited. And then the interview they did with their dad, Fred Jones, was outstanding. So I just want to say, just congratulations. Continue to do what you're doing, Isaiah. You're making a difference and you're leading the young Black men. And I think it's absolutely powerful. That's why I want to continue to put you out front as much as possible. Y'all, just to let y'all know, Isaiah's getting some freelance gigs all over the place. I would like to think I had something to do with it, but it doesn't have anything to do with me. It has to do with his skills, his personality, the work that he is doing at his church, New Salem Missionary Baptist Church, and all the work he's doing in the community. So kudos to you, Isaiah. Continue to do what you are doing. John Gore said, first and second graders, you will have a ball. So will they with the kids. Listen. Y'all, Deborah's on tomorrow. So News in Motion will take place tomorrow. Thank you, Deborah Johnson. I'll call you afterwards. So y'all, Deborah is on tomorrow. Good morning, Pastor Alex. All right, y'all, Wednesday, the celebration, Wednesday. We're not going to do a big thing this time. It was a great thing to do it the first year. We might go all in when it's the third year. If we can make it to the third year, that's my plan. That's my hope. But on Wednesday, y'all, it is significant for me because, y'all, that's 2 years of consistency, 2 years of challenges, 2 years of growth, 2 years of doing what it is that we do, 2 years of daily research. Even when you don't see me on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can believe I'm researching because news never stops. 2 years that when we went from 5 days to 4 days, I needed that break on Friday just to breathe, and you all hung with me. Last year, as y'all seen, and what happened again this year as well, August, we shut down. We shut down completely in August. We have some videos that we post up in August, and we will continue to do that this year. But this August, we're shutting down. This July, and we're sharing this now. We'll talk more about this on Wednesday. This July, we will be having on some days, young people takeover, where the young people will be doing the news, probably 2 days out of the week, and I'll do 2 days out of the week in July, because I believe in empowering other people and helping them get to where they want to go. So I'm real excited with what's going to come. But y'all, on Wednesday, we will celebrate 2 years. 2 years, y'all. That is significant. And thank you to all the viewers who have been hanging out with me and inviting other people for 2 years. Y'all, we have some new merch. Hopefully you have seen it on the Facebook page. If not, we're going to have an image put up here today to talk about our merch. This merch is preparing us for voting. It will get us in for voting. And let's see, I think we have the merch image. I think Isaiah may be looking for it. We have the merch image that's up there. We have some new t-shirts. One says "So Ready" and the other one says "Be Ready." Then we also have "Ready to Vote" t-shirt and hoodie. It's too hot for the hoodie. But on the "So Ready" and the "Be Ready" t-shirts, you have the word "vote" on the sleeve. You have the word "vote" on the sleeve. They're unisex t-shirts. We want with the highest quality t-shirts available, but we want you to help join us in getting the message out about voting. We want to start getting people registered to vote. Thank you so much, Isaiah. So y'all, there's that. So please check it out. You can go to gaildudley.com/shop to get the merch, Also, we want to start off with some COVID news real quick. Y'all, stats reporting that the U.S. health official give final sign off on COVID-19 vaccines for children as young as 6 months old. Shots expected to be available as early as today. So it's happening today. And y'all, U.S. COVID-19 deaths continues to hover around 300 per day. And that's coming straight from our world data. All right, y'all. We know we got some information coming in from Kenny Stanley. Y'all, I'm mad that I didn't watch the entire series. But hold on, y'all. Be right back. Let's go to Game Over. Hey, what's up, Kenny?
What's going on?
It's all you. It's all you. Hey, before you say anything, John Gore, I love your comment. Isaiah, if you can pull that up. He says, July, love it. Real leaders develop leaders, not followers. And that's our goal here. Thank you so much, John, for seeing that and for supporting that. And that's what we want to do. And we want these young people talking about voting and civic engagement and volunteerism, and to understand some of the news and to do the research. So there'll be a teaching moment during that month of July. So thank you so much, John, for seeing that. All right, Kenny Stanley. Y'all, before I let Kenny Stanley talk about the sports, y'all, I was able to tune in to watch Kenny Stanley on Facebook as he was delivering his initial sermon. And that sermon was just all of that and a bag of chips. Y'all, Kenny Stanley, he set it up talking about the color purple and broke down all the people from the color purple. Then he went to his points. Y'all, but then get this. And Kim Edmondson was in the congregation. Get this, y'all. Kenny Stanley tried to holler. He went and gave a hoop real quick. Kenny Stanley was feeling that. Kenny, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I said, preach, Kenny. So you watch it Facebook and you get that excited. I was talking back like he could hear me. I was like, preach, brother, go, brother, say that, brother, bring it home, brother. He gave his testimony at the end, which is always a great tie-in. And he talked about not guilty, and Kenny's not guilty. Kenny, I'm so proud of you. I love how God has just taken a hold of you and he's leading you into greater things. So Kenny, continue to do what you're doing. Y'all, I think it's now Minister Kenneth Stanley. It is now. But anyway, I just want to say congratulations to you. And
Thank you so much.
The end. I said, oh, he went all the way in. I said, throw the towel.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am truly humbled. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
All right.
I'm out of here. Do what you do.
All right. News and Motion family, good morning. I pray everybody had a great weekend. Well, I said they was going to do it in 6, and the Golden State Warriors did it. They are now the NBA champs, undisputed until next year. We see what happens. But they wrapped it up, and they beat the Boston Celtics on last Thursday night. Steph Curry finished with 34 points. The sleeper on the team, Andrew Wiggins. Hey, that was a great pickup this summer. Andrew Wiggins finished with 18 points. When Steph was off the game before, it was Andrew Wiggins who led the team. So they got a team full of leaders who can do whatever it is they have to do. Jordan Poole came off the bench with 15. This is Golden State. 4th title in 8 years. That has to make them one of the best teams ever to play in the NBA. This also gives Steve Kerr his 9th championship, 5 as a player, 4 as a coach. Steve Kerr has to go down as one of the best coaches to coach this game. I know everybody say that Mark Jackson put this team together, but Steve Kerr is the one coaching it right now. It was Steve Kerr who coached them to these 4 championships, not Mark Jackson. Even though he did draft the players, Draymond Green, he did draft Steph Curry, and he did draft Klay Thompson. But it's Steve Kerr. Got to give him credit. It's Steve Kerr who's coaching this team, who has coached this team to 4 championships. The last 2 games of that series, Jason Tatum got to grow up. Looked like he was playing like he was sleepwalking in the 4th quarter. He just completely disappeared. Um, I think he's going to be okay. He has some stuff he needs to work on. Don't sleep on Boston. They're not going nowhere. That's a young team, and that team is coming to play. In the NHL, Colorado Avalanche has a 2-0 series lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it looks like Colorado can't be stopped. They done ran through the West. Now it looks like they're getting ready to run through Tampa Bay, who is the East champ. Will Colorado take a 3-0 series lead tonight? We'll see. But it looks like they're trying to dethrone the 3-time champ, Tampa Bay Lightning. We will see. The puck drops at 8 o'clock tonight on ABC and ESPN. In golf news, Matt Fitzpatrick won the U.S. Open, capturing his first major title, and he finished at 6 under par. His take-home pay for 4 days, a 4-day weekend, this is his take-home pay, $3 million. Matter of fact, it's $3.15 million. Wow. And they talking about they want to go over to the new golf league because the PGA don't pay. Give me $3 million for 4 days, and I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay. Now, this is celebration week. John Gore said something about Gail, but this is celebration week. Today kicks off the 2-year anniversary. The anniversary is the birthday anniversary for News in Motion is Wednesday, June 22nd. I remember when Gail told me about her wanting to do News in Motion. It was going to be part of the Ready publication, political part of the magazine, and she was going to do it live on Facebook. I remember when she told me, and pushing her forward. The show was only supposed to be about 10 to 15 minutes long. It'll never be 10 to 15 minutes long again. For 5 days, we got spoiled. When she kicked it down to 4, we cried. But, hey, it's still working out. Look at you now, Gail. You stepped out on faith, and look where God is leading you. Look where News in Motion is at. Gail, I appreciate you so much. You push people and you promote people to be the best they can be. I said something to you about doing sports. I said I knew I was going to do it. I said I knew that you was going to ask me eventually because you know I like sports. You pushed me out there. I want to do a podcast, and you're pushing me towards that. Look what you're doing for Isaiah. Isaiah, you're promoting Isaiah. You promote so many people. Not only do you push great people, you got Deborah Johnson, who at the last second today said she would do the show tomorrow. You're promoting people. Deborah Johnson is a dynamic person who's going to do the news tomorrow. Can't wait to see it. Gail, this is what you do. John Gore said it best. Leaders promote leaders, and that's what you're doing. News in Motion family, I am asking you, please go out and do what you can to support Gail. You can become a Patreon member at patreon.com/Gail Dudley and sign up to be a Patreon member. She does a lot of work. You can also hit Gail on the Cash App, which is $MIM today. Please I'm asking y'all, as a News in Motion family member, you getting a lot of information from Gail. And she is promoting a lot of people. And she's pushing it forward. How many of us knew about how this political thing works? A lot of us didn't know. It's a lot of stuff that I thought I knew that I didn't know. And I want to thank Gail because I'm learning something. And I'm more educated when it comes to this political thing. Please, everybody, promote Gail, support Gail, and just become a Patreon member or hit her on her Cash App. Please. That's sports. Game over. Back to Gail for more news.
Wow, thank you, Kenny. I'm sitting there like, okay, come back. He's going to do that. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your commentate, how you just go through the news. We see some of the chat. When you are being a commentator, you have to balance. When you are researching, you have to balance. That's what makes you great. So as we post along, as we do things, as we say things, it's all about a balance. And it's not that we're trying to throw curveballs. We're watching, we're analyzing, we are strategizing on what we do. And you do a great job with that.
Thank you.
So now I can't wait to see how things unfold with was it Stanley Cup and then
the Stanley Cup.
I'm just glad you're here. So keep doing what you're doing. And again, congratulations to you for becoming minister, Kenneth.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody. Thank you.
See you Wednesday.
Have a good one. All right.
See you Wednesday. All right, y'all. I have a release from the White House. Y'all know I love when I get these things right. I love when I get these things. Anyway, I have this. It's just for immediate release. And they're talking about inflation. And they were talking about Janet Yellen, who is the Treasury Secretary, and the Energy Secretary, Jennifer Granholm, State of the Union, and then CNN's reporting this. And then the White House is reporting the overall press release. But they're saying they're reaching out to Congress when it comes to inflation. And what they're saying is, and I use a complete quote, and if Congress will work with him, talking about President Joe Biden, to enact some of the administration programs, we can bring down the other costs that are burdering the burden. I think they spelled this wrong. Okay. Households like prescription drugs, healthcare costs, increased supply of affordable housing. We clearly have a housing problem in the United States, and we need to address it by building more affordable housing. They also talked about strategic petroleum reserve. And even though gas prices are high, they will be higher without the release. They just did a release of that petroleum fuel. And then in energy, it says, they can try to increase supply because right now we have a huge mismatch between demand for fuel for gasoline and the supply of it. They go on to saying we are doing a whole series of things, including this week. They will be meeting with the CEOs of oil and gas companies because we have a global refinery challenge. The refinery shut down, many of them, some of them during COVID-19. Pulled in the United States 1 million barrels of capacity offline. So that's they're dealing with this, but they're calling on Congress. And in here, they actually called out Mitch McConnell, and he's saying that they're going to hold tight. So y'all understand that. Remember, the power of the purse belongs to the House, to the chambers. That's the power of the purse. If they're not releasing the funds, if they're not passing them in the House and in the Senate, it just kind of like shuts down. So this is another opportunity to call our officials as soon as possible. All right, y'all, the January 6th committee hearings. The next hearings will be on Tuesday. It'll be hearing number 4, Tuesday, tomorrow, June 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern. And they will trace the then president's alleged efforts to unduly influence state legislators and election officials. Brad Rassenberger, y'all remember him, Georgia, Secretary of State of Georgia, and Gabriel Sterling one of his top aides, have been subpoenaed to testify, and we'll see if that happens. Democratic Representative Adam Schiff of California, a member of the committee, is expected to play a leading role in Tuesday's hearing. So that's Tuesday, and then also Thursday the 23rd at 1 p.m. Both of those are 1 p.m. Eastern. Now, y'all, this is significant news. Eero News reports that the French president, Emmanuel Macron, lost control of the country's parliament on yesterday after his centrist coalition failed to win the majority of their 577-seat body in national elections. All right, y'all, the outcome means that Macron, elected to second term in April, will likely face challenges in achieving legislative priorities. Y'all, this is becoming a thing. And if you look at the different countries, this is happening. So what it is you have more of a moderate or somewhat progressive person in office as the president. And then you have the chamber who are fighting against them, which means legislation stalls. And you never really want to see legislation stall. You don't want that to happen. So be mindful of what's happening here. So they're talking about, analysts all over are saying that frustration with major parties have led to a drop in voter enthusiasm, with less than half of eligible voters casting ballots. That's not just happening in France, it's happening all over. So y'all, we have to pay attention to this. We have to pay attention to this. And Isaiah has up there the link. If you want to follow the January 6th hearings, the link is there. But y'all, all of this connects. You think about their global meetings. You think about everything that they're doing, the United Nations meetings, everything. You're starting to see a trend. So don't just shut off the news from other countries. Pay attention to them as well. And right here on News in Motion, it is our job to make sure we're bringing this to the forefront of you so that you're seeing it continuously. All right, y'all. Then SpaceX fired some people. CNN's reporting, Reuters reporting, New York Times reporting, and others. Private rocket company SpaceX fired at least 5 employees. And it says at least because they're still hearing that more people have been fired. After it found out they had drafted and circulated a letter criticizing the founder, Elon Musk, and urging executives to make the firm's firm's culture more inclusive. 2 people familiar with the matter said. Now, SpaceX did not immediately respond to Reuters for a request to comment, but the New York Times report that the letter was citing that 3 employees with knowledge of the situation, that so far 5 people have been released. It had not detailed the number of employees overall who have been dismissed. Now, the email allegedly said employees involved in circulating a letter have been fired for making other staff feel uncomfortable, intimidated, and bullied, and or angry because the letter pressured them to sign on to something that did not reflect their views. But more and more conversations coming out that no one can independently confirm that, and that is false. But that's the narrative that's coming out of the executive offices. Now, y'all, in this open letter to executive of SpaceX, seen by Reuters, called Musk a distraction and an embarrassment to the company he has founded. Now, there were a list of 3 demands. These employees aren't playing around. There were a list of 3 demands, and explicitly separated itself from Elon's personal brand. It says, hold all leadership equally accountable to making SpaceX a great place to work for everyone, and to define and uniformly respond to all forms of unacceptable behavior, including those of the owner. Well, there's that. Now, here's my question. I want you to fill up the chat with this. Now, y'all, this is what he calls freedom of speech. Isn't this the real reason why he said he is purchasing Twitter? So that people can have a freedom of speech and express themselves and to say whatever they want to say. But yet, at least 5 people have been fired from SpaceX. All right, so isn't this a contradiction? I'm speaking to you all now. Fill up the chat. Let's talk. What say you? I see Kim Edmonds says Elon is clowning. Look, something's going on. He also had his first meeting with the Twitter employees, saying just that we want freedom of speech. No, anything goes as long as it's not illegal. That's a contradiction with you firing at least 5 people from SpaceX. As you're continuing to fill up the thread responding to that, y'all, Apple begins to unionize. TechCrunch reports that Apple Store workers in Townsend, Maryland, vote to join a union. That's the first U.S. Apple retail store to unionize. Y'all, as several Apple stores across the country fight to unionize, y'all, out of 110 eligible employees at the Maryland location, the union received 65 yes votes and 33 no votes. Y'all, this sends a message that people are tired. Y'all, The Verge reports that former Amazon employee found guilty of hacking customers' cloud data systems, stealing information linked to the 2019 Capital One data breach that exposed more than 100 million records. Y'all, former Amazon Web Services engineer has been found guilty of hacking into customers' cloud storage systems and stealing data linked to the massive 2019 Capital One breach. Y'all, in the U.S. District Court in Seattle convicted Paige Thomas also of 7 counts of computer and wire fraud on Friday, a crime punishable up to 20 years in prison. But y'all, don't disconnect us. And when we're putting together the news, we're looking at all the links and the connections. So we bring it to you in a package, if you will. And I see we're running out of time, but let me hit this. Y'all, fraud on LinkedIn. You would think that LinkedIn would never be hacked or there will be fraud, but there is massive fraud and the FBI is now involved. CNBC reports fraudsters who exploit LinkedIn to lure users into cryptocurrency investment scheme pose a significant threat to the platform and consumers, accordingly to Sean Reagan, the FBI special agent in charge of the San Francisco and Sacramento, California lead offices. He says, it is a significant threat. He goes on to say this type of fraudulent activity is significant, and there are many potential victims, and there are many past and current victims as well. They go on to say what the scheme looks like. Let me give it to you real quick. It says a fraudster posing as a professional creates a fake profile and reaches out to LinkedIn users. The scammer starts with small talk over LinkedIn messaging and eventually offers to help the victim make money through a crypto investment. Victims interviewed by CNBC says since LinkedIn is a trusted platform for business networking, they tend to believe the investments are legitimate. Yes, you're right, Kim Edmondson. No platform is safe from fraud, including LinkedIn. You're absolutely correct there. So y'all, that's how the scheme works. They talk about them being criminals. And in a statement, LinkedIn acknowledged that there has been recent uptick of fraud on its platform, telling CNBC that we enforce our policies, which are very clear. Fraudulent activity, including financial scams, are not allowed on LinkedIn. We work every day to keep our members safe, and this includes investing in automated and manual defenses to detect and address fake accounts, false information, and suspected fraud. So they are doing their part. In case you need a date for this, I think the weather is telling us, y'all, summer starts tomorrow, June the 21st at 5:14 a.m. Eastern. Y'all, it will also be the longest day of 2022. All right, y'all, here's our inspirational message, and we are out of here. Tune in tomorrow. I'm sure Deborah Johnson's going to give y'all some amazing news. But y'all, the inspirational message today is this: get unstuck. Get unstuck. There's something that God is wanting me to tell you all. If you go back to last week's messages, and I'll continue those kind of messages this week. Y'all, whether they are dreams, vision, or strategy. Yesterday, I was speaking with a friend, and during our conversation, I was sharing with her from the time I was a little girl, when my father and my grandfather, they worked at Rockwell then it went to Boeing, then it went to Lucent. And then, as y'all know, they retired. The different plants here in Central Ohio shut down. But they would always have what you would call a side hustle where they would wash walls or paint or whatever. And I was always in that entrepreneur mindset, even from a little girl, that I would go along with them. And when I would go along with them, I was the one asking their customer for their money. And I'll be like, no, you got to pay today. And my father even reminds me today how I used to be like, no, that's not acceptable. And I was probably about 8 or 9 years old when I started. So I would go around, do the inspection, just to think that's just my creative side. That's my vision side. That's my project management side. Those are the things I would do. And so in our conversation, I was saying, there's so many amazing entrepreneurs out there, whether they're young people, millennials, older people, whomever. I said, but they're finding themselves stuck at times. And here today, I want to say to you, it's time to get unstuck. A lot of us experience what we call imposter syndrome, where we're like, oh, I could never do that. No one will listen to me. No one will hear me. And we're not taking the moves and necessary moves and steps that we need to take. And today I'm saying it's time for you to come forth and do those things. I think it's extremely important for you to do so. And in those things, some of us, we get stuck because we're like, well, I can't do all these different pieces. For me, I'm a creative, I'm a visionary. When it comes to financials, when it comes to a business plan, when it comes to stuff like that, I can't help you. So I always have to partner with someone to tell them my vision, my plan, someone I trust. And sometimes I do have them sign non-disclosure agreement so that they can't share it with anybody because it's proprietary information. And I have them, so I'm like, okay, so help me put this together. Listen, if you can't do it by yourself, and there's no one person that can do it all, you partner with other people to get together and see things happen. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to discuss. Again, if you don't have that trusted confidant who has that skill, then pull out the non-disclosure agreements and have them sign it. But make sure you go to an attorney to make sure that non-disclosure agreement is tight. But y'all, it's time to get unstuck. Y'all, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I've tried that 9 to 5 stuff, and some of y'all love it. Y'all thrive off of it, and you are brilliant with it. I can't do it. I've done it for many years, and I become bored. I leave a job because I start seeing things. I become that visionary, and I can't go tell the CEO how to do his or her job. I can get fired. I can't sit behind a desk. That drives me absolutely bonkers. So know your purpose and know your heart. Know what it is that you do. Now, to get unstuck, it's important for you to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And I go back to Psalms 134. You are uniquely made. You are designed to do what it is that you're doing. Get unstuck. Look at the framework around you today and say, where am I stuck? Write it down. Call somebody, have that conversation, have somebody to pull things out of you, if you will. Y'all, and that's also called a coach. That's also called a strategic planner. Those people we have to pay. Y'all, and it's okay. It's okay. Let people know your budget, but be realistic when it comes to your budget as well. But it's so, so, so important to become unstuck. Why am I saying this? Why does God have me here? I don't know his full plan right now for me to share these things with you, but this is what I do know right now. The gifting, there's a shift in the atmosphere that's taken place. Everyone that you see who have been up top, that you've seen in the forefront over and over and over again for years, God is about to change that. He's about to shift that. And I believe God is preparing us right now to be ready for that shift because the shift is coming. The shift is coming. These people have done great at the helm of things. They've done wonderful at the helm of things, but there's a shift that's about to take place. I don't know if this is prophetic or what, but I just know that there's a shift and we have to be ready for the shift. And you're going to need to be unstuck to be able to move with the shift. You have to be unstuck to move with the shift. I'll say that again. You have to be unstuck to move with the shift. Let me go back and just talk about this imposter syndrome for a moment. People have a dream, they have vision, but they lack strategy. And they lack strategy because they're somewhat paralyzed to move forward because they're already telling themselves, oh, they're not going to respond to me. They're not going to help me. They're not going to become a sponsor. They're not going to sign on. They're not going to become a client. You give all the reasons why people will not join you instead of looking at the fact that God has appointed me for right now in this season, and He has equipped me with everything that I need. That's the message. I want you to hear, and I want you to chew on it, and I want you to eat from it. Go to the table and eat encouragement, eat equipping, eat empowerment, eat anointing, eat all of those things that's going to help you move out to do those things you need to do. Y'all, we have to stop sitting back, waiting for someone else to answer our call when the call has been designed for you to call. Kenny said it, which I had no idea who was going to say those things, but Kenny talked about me promoting people. I'm that encourager. After 2 years, y'all should know that by now. If I see a thing, I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to promote you because I can see it. But here's the thing, you have to be unstuck to be able to go out and do it. You can come up with a list of reasons as to why you cannot do something. Today, come up with a list of reasons as to why you can. Why you can. Be boastful about it. Be bold about it. Be confident about it, because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt His name together. Y'all, it's time to get unstuck. And if you don't know where to start, get with the coach. Deborah Johnson is on here. Deborah Johnson is a coach. She has a fee. Pay her to help you get unstuck. There's others on here as well, but she's the first one that comes to mind. Get unstuck. All right, y'all. I'm out tomorrow. Deborah Johnson is sitting in as a host tomorrow. You want to tune in tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I will be back as we celebrate our second anniversary. I'm so excited about it. Y'all pray for me tomorrow. I'm going to hang out with some first and second graders during their camp, talking about news and publishing and media. And I can't wait. I'm going to be with 100 first and second graders. Y'all pray for your sister. Pray, but I'm ready to turn up with them. I'm so excited to be over there with them tomorrow. So y'all, until I return, be sure to tune in tomorrow with Deborah Johnson. Y'all stay well, and remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.